One of the things we find reading in the early books of the Bible is obviously it is coming out of a patriarchal Middle Eastern culture. So it is very male dominated, if you will, in terms of the people who are written about and who are leaders. But in the book of Judges, we meet a remarkable woman named Deborah. And in Judges chapter 4, verse 4, we're told this: At that time, Deborah, a prophetess, wife of Lappidoth, was judging Israel. And in Judges chapters 4 and 5, we hear the story of Deborah, who to me is really a remarkable woman. And she has several qualities that we hear about in these two chapters. In chapter 5, verse 5, she is described as a mother in Israel. And just like a good mother, she demonstrates care and compassion for the people she is leading and who she feels responsible for. She also practices wise judgment. She had to be remarkable that people would come to her. Men would come to her and seek her wisdom, her adjudication if there was a dispute or a case that needed to be resolved. So we see her care and compassion and her wise judgment. We also see that she is a woman of contemplation. She is not someone who rushes into decisions. In a devotional I shared last week from the book of Joshua, I shared an experience where the Israelites did something without consulting the Lord first, and how that led to them being tricked. Well, Deborah is a woman of contemplation. She waits to hear from the Lord before she acts. A third thing we see with Deborah is her courage. There is a crisis to be faced, an enemy who is coming against her people, and she is such a courageous woman and leader that even her own commander says he won't take the field unless she goes with them. And she assures him that she will go with them, but he's not going to get the credit for the victory because it's going to be a woman who ends up killing their opponent. We see care, we see contemplation, we see courage. The fourth thing we see in the life of Deborah is the importance of celebration. After the battle is won, she writes a poem, which we have. It's basically Judges chapter 5, which sings a song of the victory of God and of her people. So, in a book that is filled with stories of men, here's 3 cheers for Deborah. A woman who is a prophetess, a woman who demonstrates care, contemplation, courage, and the importance of celebrating God's victories. We can learn a lot from Deborah.